What if I told you that changing your bed or your mattress, or even just going to sleep in a different bed for a bit, could actually improve your chances of lucid dreaming? Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So, I'm sure you're tired of every single YouTuber making this pitch, but it is really true. A whole bunch of you guys aren't actually subscribed to this channel. So if you're coming here brand new, looking for lucid dreaming content, hit that subscribe button, enable those notifications. That way YouTube is going to help keep you up to date when my new content comes out each week. Also, in the last video, when it was so hot that I had to have my fan on full blast and I had to use the noise cancelling, the audio didn't come out so great. So I'm going to brave the heat for this episode. I'm going to sit here and melt with my fan off just to turn off the noise cancelling so you guys can have a little bit better audio. So please do appreciate the fact that I am completely melting right now for you guys. And if you do enjoy the video, give this video a little like. Right, so without further ado, let's talk beds and mattresses. So this video is inspired, of course, by something that happened with me. I recently replaced my mattress. Now, I didn't buy some fancy expensive mattress, I just went from one cheap mattress to another cheap mattress. But there was one little difference between the two, and that was that I bought a mattress that was a little bit harder than my previous mattress. And this already had an effect within the first couple of nights sleeping on it. And that was that I immediately found myself in sleep paralysis, something that I actually haven't had much of in quite a while, which for some people sounds like an amazing blessing, and you know, most people probably are trying to avoid sleep paralysis. For me, I personally love it because it's no longer scary for me, and it's pretty much a guaranteed lucid dream or an attempt at an out-of-body experience. Which, quick disclaimer here for those who are new to the channel and don't already know my views on this, when I refer to an out-of-body experience, I am not suggesting that you're actually leaving your body, as I haven't seen any compelling evidence for that. But to me, I do classify it as a different experience to a dream or lucid dream, another internal experience that plays by its own set of rules. But yeah, so for me, I was excited about the fact that I was getting sleep paralysis again, and I thought that this is something that some people might actually not realise. That sleep paralysis is actually more common when you sleep on your back. And whether you sleep on your back or your side is sometimes habit, but it can also be affected by the mattress that you sleep on. So harder mattresses tend to be more conducive to sleeping on your back. They tend to be more comfortable when you sleep on your back. And softer mattresses tend to be more comfortable for side sleeping. So if you get sleep paralysis too often and you find that you're a back sleeper, you might find that a softer mattress actually helps you move to side sleeping and that you get a reduced incidence of it. Similarly, if you're like me and you want sleep paralysis more often, whether it's because you want to do one of the things that I suggested, or maybe you're just a masochist that for whatever reason loves sleep paralysis, then you might actually want to consider if a harder mattress is right for you, as it can make it easier to sleep on your back. But sleep paralysis wasn't why I made this video. After all, sleeping on your back doesn't guarantee that you'll get sleep paralysis, and sleeping on your side doesn't guarantee that you won't. It's more likely on your back, but you can get it in either position. So why am I making this video? Well, I want to talk more about how increasing or decreasing your level of comfort can actually make lucid dreaming a little bit easier for you. And speaking of making lucid dreaming a little bit easier for you, that is a wonderful segue into my summer sale that I'm doing on all of my products. You can get 50% off my lucid dreaming book, my lucid dreaming audio course, or my self-improvement course by using the code SUMMER at checkout to get 50% off. Just remember, by purchasing, you are being a terrible influence and encouraging me to spend more in the Steam summer sales, which definitely have nothing to do with why I'm doing another sale of my own. Anyway, back to your bed and your comfort levels when it comes to lucid dreaming. So I'm sure some of you listening right now, you're sitting there and you're a lot like me. You have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, and falling back asleep. So often when you get up to perform techniques like wild or whatever, you will wake up at the alarm and you just won't get back to sleep. And it can be dreadful, and it can also result in you not wanting to perform these techniques in the first place because you don't want to risk messing up your sleep. Well, if this sounds like you, then getting the most comfortable mattress, the most comfortable bed that you can find is going to do wonders for this, because the fact is you want every variable to be perfect. If you struggle to fall asleep, then you want the best mattress, you want the ideal room temperature, you want a quiet environment, or to be using earplugs if you can't get that. You want to be wearing one of those eye masks or using blackout blinds to keep the room pitch black. Basically, if you struggle to fall asleep, you need to be tweaking every little variable to try and make it as easy as possible so that you minimize those times where you simply can't fall back asleep. If you do have all of these variables set up perfectly, you're going to find that, well, your psychological insomnia might not go away, or other causes of it might not go away. The incidence of those times where you just don't fall back asleep decreases dramatically. So is that it? Have I just brought you here to tell you that, hey, you probably want a more comfortable bed? Well, actually no, because for some people, you might want a less comfortable bed. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever woken up to perform a technique and you get there and you're ready to lucid dream, you've thought about what you're going to do in your lucid dream, you go to perform wild or even just to perform a simple mantra, and you just drift off before you actually really do it? Well, I've had that problem in the past too. While I do tend towards insomnia, there are some times where I'm simply trying to lucid dream where I'm very tired. And some people will have this problem more than others. If you're someone that easily falls asleep, too easily in fact, then you might find that sleeping on the most comfortable bed isn't going to be ideal for you, because you're just going to drift straight back off when you're trying to perform techniques. So what am I suggesting? Am I suggesting you get your fancy expensive mattress, toss it out the window and start sleeping on a bit of plywood? No, of course not. That's not what I'm suggesting. You want to be on the most comfortable, the most supportive bed when you're going to sleep at night. But when you are waking up to perform lucid dreaming techniques, if you're drifting off too fast, consider maybe not sleeping on that lovely bed of yours and moving to the couch, or even sleeping on the floor for a little bit. Hell, even if your couch is pretty comfortable and you go and you move to that, just the act of actually getting up and moving to it is going to wake you up a little bit. So there's going to be a smaller chance of you drifting off straight away. So do play around with comfort as a variable when it comes to lucid dreaming. But outside of tweaking comfort levels and outside of the incidence of sleep paralysis, there is one more thing that I want to bring your attention to in today's video. And that is how changing the setting that you sleep in can be a powerful psychological tool to break you out of bad habits that you've developed when it comes to lucid dreaming. Let's say that you have this self-fulfilling prophecy that you're not going to get lucid because you've had bad results before with a particular technique, or you've just had bad results in general. Or using a personal example, I for years struggled with dream stability, and while this was partly a technique thing that I improved over time, I think a big part of it was just that after having these experiences of really short lucid dreams, I developed this negative habit and this negative belief about my ability to have long lucid dreams. So when you have this negative belief or negative habit like that, then changing to a brand new setting for your lucid dreaming attempts can actually have this effect like wiping the slate clean. Because your subconscious is taking all of these little variables into account surrounding your attempts, and one of those variables is the bed that you sleep in, the times that you sleep, all of these things. So if you switch up variables like that, then your subconscious can accept the idea that, hey, maybe things will be different this time. So if you have been having trouble getting lucid, or trouble with stability, or trouble with any number of different variables, then you can try experimenting with sleeping in a different bed, or sleeping on your couch, or even sleeping at a friend's place and trying to lucid dream there. And another trick that you can use for this last one in particular is you don't even have to sleep in a different bed. You can literally just rearrange your room. Move your bed to the other side of the room, or just rotate it or reposition it, and you might actually find that's enough to convince your subconscious that you're doing something brand new here, and you might find that it snaps you out of that bad negative cycle. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed these tips today. And what about you guys? Do you guys sleep in the same bed that you lucid dream in, or do you actually switch things up and perhaps go to your couch in the mornings when you're attempting to lucid dream? And what about times when you've been forced to attempt to lucid dream somewhere other than your normal bed? Maybe you've been on vacation in a hotel somewhere, maybe you've been sleeping around your partner's house. Have you ever noticed that that impacts your lucid dreams? Share some of your experiences down below, I would love to hear. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date with my new videos. If you want to support the channel and what I do here, consider checking out the Patreon, where you'll immediately get access to our Discord server. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.